Hobby Lobby, and I got them in a special. It's a 16 by 20, and I got a 5-pack for $9.99. Now, I don't know if they still have this special, because I've had these canvas for quite some time.
Hey, Miss Rebecca. She said, hey, everybody.
Hey, Rebecca.
Thank you for the sprinkles.
Thank you for the sprinkles, sprinkle, so y'all can be added. And this is the little tiny bit of blue we're using, and we're going to put water in it. I just have water in a mason jar. And it's a watercolor, so therefore that's why there's so little paint, and then you add quite a bit of water because it's just watercolor. And then you just mix it up. I am using the big paintbrush for the sky because the sky is my biggest part. I'm going to go ahead and do the red. That's the tiny bit of red. Give me all, yeah. Just putting a little bit of water in there. Go ahead and mix it up. And I'm using like I guess it's a medium paintbrush for the red stripes.
Hey, Miss Karina.
Good morning. Hey, Miss Karina. I started to say good morning. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Karina. Okay. There we've got our red and our blue. Now, white I'm going to use full strength, and I'm using the Waverly white chalk paint. And I'm using it full strength, you know, because white just doesn't show up anyway. So, in order for me to have some paint on here, I'm using the white. And then my bottom, where I have the hills and the trees and the crosses, I'm using the Craft Smart Black, and that comes from Michael's. Craft Smart Black chalk paint. But you can use acrylic black. I'm just out. This is the only black I have right now. So, I'm using it full. And again, I'm using the Delta Cream Coat Red. And I've had this forever. I don't even remember where it came from. An Apple Barrel Award Blue for the blue part of the sky. And this comes from Walmart. 50 cents for that. And I did want to give y'all a tip. Sonny, can you reach my chalk paint, that can of chalk paint up there? You know, chalk paint at Walmart, I want to say was like $6.96 or $8.96. I can't remember. It's one of the two. Well, look, I picked this up at Home Depot. It is a 31-ounce can of chalk paint, white. I got the base, white base, which is, he said, can be used just as white chalk paint. But 31 gallons for $19.99, 20 bucks. I got 31 gallons. You only get, in this Waverly chalk
31
paint,
gallons.
31 ounces. In this Waverly, you get 8 ounces. Well, blue or whatever you want your sky or whatever it is you're painting to be. And I just simply kind of did like this with my chalk paint. With my brush. Just letting it go wherever. And I just based the sky on how big I wanted it. I mean, you paint it however big you want it. You can go in. You can go in circles. Wow, this is the easiest painting in the world. I mean, you can do anything you want, and it doesn't have to stop at a certain spot. This is your painting. And see how little paint it took, because this is watercolor. I think that's all on that. And then this is even easier. Let me see how thin it looks. It's on thin. And you know how I feel about the flag. The flag has 7 red stripes and 6 white stripes, and that's what, even though this is abstract and whatever, I still want to represent the 7 red stripes and the 7 white stripes. So all you do is literally take your paintbrush and go across. And I did not go all the way up to the top, but that's, you do whatever you want to do. Come down a little bit, and I go into the edge of my blue, and then another stripe.
Maybe you don't do all the stuff that you did on that one?
Yeah, it won't take long because it's watercolor.
How'd you do this?
The crosses with just a paintbrush.
But
Then come down and do another stripe.
how'd you do it with water paint? Or you
I
just-
didn't. My black's not water paint. Come down and do another stripe. And it doesn't matter how big you do it, how little you do it, if you want big fat stripes. I mean, just kind of judge to where you're going to have you enough room to do your 7 stripes.
I would have to pre-mark mine.
Yeah, Sonny would pre-mark hers, but I'm, like I told y'all, I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to doing my crafts. I like to do them and have a lot of fun with them. And if I have to pre-mark everything, that it takes away the fun. Can y'all see this?
That's it.
Yeah, no. I'm counting. So he says, you got 6 now. But always, guys, in any painting you do, start at your other end and go all the way through so that you don't have any paint marks. Okay? And that's it for red. Now we're going to dry. I'm using a hair dryer just to dry this a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. And you can kind of tell when you're drying, when it's dry enough. Like this one's not quite dry because it still looks shiny when I look at it. But then we're just going to go put our... Now I did not, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I didn't on my original one. I did not smooth out my white because I wanted it to be a little ridgy. But because this is alive, it'll dry quicker if I smooth it out. But to do the white, literally all I do is take my paintbrush and go all the way across. Just like that, just like we did with the red. Take your paintbrush, go all the way across. And you can't, like I said, you can't see the white, and that's why when I did mine, when I had time to let it dry and good, I didn't smooth it out. So it has some ridges and some, you can tell there's something there. But I want it to dry faster tonight, so I'm trying to smooth it out pretty good. Anybody can do this paint job, guys. Don't let it stop you if you say, oh, I can't paint, I can't. This is the simplest, and there's really hardly no messing it up. I mean, literally, unless you just run out of canvas, and then you ain't messed it up, just paint over it white and start all over again. There is no such thing as messing up in crafts. You just might have to change up a few things, and that's what we're doing lives for, to show you how easy it is to change up a few things. Because those of you that's watched me long enough know things happen. Things happen. But we don't stop. We just change up and fix it. Trying to get this on here thin enough it's going to dry so that I can do the trees without messing anything up and the crosses. And when you do yours, look guys, y'all don't have to do trees. Y'all can, maybe if you're good or you just want to trace out, I thought about this, that's why I'm telling you. I thought about tracing out an eagle across the, thought about tracing out an eagle across here, kind of in between here and here. You know, and hey man, that would be awesome. Okay, now I'm going to make a noise again and hair dry the blue, the white. Sorry. From Hobby Lobby. I got them in a pack of 5 for $9.99. A 60. Now, guys, I've got just a touch of black. It doesn't take much black either. And I've got a small paintbrush to do the tree limbs and the crosses with. And then I have this old fuzzy paintbrush. I know, surely you've got one of these old fuzzy paintbrushes. I think everybody that's ever painted has an old fuzzy paintbrush because you just keep it around. But that's what I do my dabbing with my limbs, the leaves to represent the leaves and stuff. Okay. We're going to do the trees first. Now I did me one bigger tree here and then a shorter tree right beside it. So that's what we're fixing to create. And all I did was take my paint like this and just kind of rub it out on my tray. On my little melamine thing. Because you don't want a lot of paint on here. You don't want a lot. And we're going to start like this, straight up and down instead of like this. It'll be straight up and down. I think I'm going to make my tall one to be about right here. I'm going to come down and then I'm going to twist it flat. And it don't worry about if you're straight or not because it's a tree limb. How many tree limbs have you ever seen that were straight? Okay. Now we're going to do our other one. This is the quickest, easiest painting you'll ever do. Oops. My paintbrushes are all falling apart. They're so old. Okay, we're going to make this one. We'll start him about right here. Straight up and then turn it sideways and go down to make a bigger thin. Your stem's always bigger at the bottom. Okay. Now we're going to start. I'm going to lay him to the side. I'm going to get my fuzzy paintbrush. And this is where you come in and where I've smeared out that black paint. I'm just going to touch the tips of my paintbrush, my fuzzy paintbrush in it. And the smeared out one. And then you start, I had my tree limbs kind of going down. You can do like a big tree limb, I mean however you want to do it. I do mine down. So I start at the top and I just do down. Keep working out. Get a little thicker as you go. Get a little bit more paint on your paintbrush. And you're just barely touching it, guys. Barely touching it. Come back up to the top and start again. And we'll take care of the top and all that to where it kind of looks. You're like, but you're leaving some and it looks like a big stem. I'll show you. Just come on out. Go back in your paint. And I stopped mine right about the same. Now we're going to take care of that tree limb. Go back into your paint, kind of into the where it's gooped up at, and bring you some out, but just still pounce it. But then we're going to pounce right on our stem. I had a little too much paint there, but that's okay. Going to pounce right on your stem. We're going to make it real full right here at the stem, and that kind of covers that stem a little bit up. And you can always shape up as you go. Say, you know, I want my limbs to come out a little more. That's all up to you. But this is abstract. We're not painting an actual tree. I'm going back in there and getting me a little paint, and then I'm fixing to do some of the limbs on my little tree first. And then I'm going to show you another technique that I do. Now this tree's going to go over the top of this other tree a little bit. You just pounce and go up. And you can shape it, like I said, any way you want your little tree shaped. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to get the one I used white in. Get me a little bit of this white, and I'm going to put a little bit of white right over here. Okay, because I want me some gray, because this front tree is going to be in front of the big tree. So I want him to be a lighter color black So he's going to have some gray. So when he dries, there's a little bit of dimension in there that distinguishes his limbs from the other tree. Because he's got some gray limbs. Okay. Now we're going to go back in and get us some gray and some more black. Mix it in good. And we're fixing to pounce our middle so that we can cover up the fact that that's a tree limb right up there. I mean, a stump. Tree stump. Okay, and don't overthink your trees. You hold our trees up. See, don't overthink them. This is just abstract. Now we're going to form our heel. And what I did for my heels, I just go back into my black. What?
Oh God, Rebecca said channel Bob Ross and put in a little happy squirrel.
Yeah, right. If I could, I would do that. Man, I wish I could paint like him. Okay, I should have brought, I want my stem down a little bit more, I realized, on my little tree, because my thing's not going to be that high.
Miss Lori said she has paintbrushes older than her child, and her oldest daughter's 31.
Well, Sonny's 38, and some of these probably are. I mean, they literally are starting to fall apart. The stuff's coming off of them. Some I don't even have the stuff on, so I have no clue what size paintbrush they are or anything. But that's okay. As long as they last, I'm going to use them. But then anyhow, to paint my mountains, or whatever you want to call it, where my trees are sitting, I just kind of did like this. Just painted them some, and then just filled it in, kind of sideways. And y'all know how to paint. I'm sure most of y'all know how to paint, so it's simple, simple, simple. This is just forming a silhouette in front of the sky. This is what kind of makes it look like a sky. Now, I did paint the sides, just the black. I didn't paint the red. I just painted the black.
Is that Bob Ross? Is he the one off of Channel 11 PBS?
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Well, I think he maybe did. He was awesome. I don't know. He may not be. Okay, I'm just painting my black down here on the sides. Okay, and then for my, come on out a little bit more before I go up to my other. And then I just picture, every time I picture the three crosses, I just picture the three heels. So I just have my heel, my short heel, then my taller heel where the main cross sits, and then my other short heel. That's just how I picture it. Y'all paint it how you picture it. And as my things fall apart as I'm painting. I did have my little bitty paintbrush that I painted the crosses with. Got to find it over there.
Yes, Miss Rebecca said she watched him every day after school. Miss Lori said, I think we all watched him, and all, absolutely. He was fascinating.
And just wishing you could paint like that. Awesome. Then to do the cross, literally all I did was take a small paintbrush. I don't remember if this, I don't think this is the one I had, but it'll work. Take a small paintbrush, and again, just get a little paintbrush on it, because I let mine be kind of rustic, not completely closed in. And I did my first ones first. Come straight down, and literally straight across.
on that one later.
Well, you can go in and change it. I mean, that cross is a little crooked. It's all right.
Again, it's made from a tree.
That's right. It's made from a tree.
It's what?
The cross was made from a tree, you know. Okay. And voila. Oh, kind of disguised your background. And voila.